Welcome to the Easy Project with your boy Eddie.
And your boy Zebby T. This podcast is about athletes transitioning into business and also the business leaders around the Gold Coast.
And Zebby and I have played NRL for 10 plus years.
And we're utilising the skills that we've learned over our NRL career to inspire others to chase their dreams and goals. Let's go!
Welcome to the Easy Project with your boy Zebby and myself Eddie. We've got a special guest here, Ryan Dark James.
Welcome, bros. Hey,
welcome, brother.
Like we always do this, man. We've got to give you your flowers.
flowers
So, hope you like this. All right. Ryan James, born in Tweed Heads, a proud Indigenous man from the BUNDJALUNG Tribe.
Oosh.
A bilambil Jets junior, attended the famous PBC High School where you made Queensland Schoolboys and Aussie Schoolboys.
Wow.
Debuted for the Gold Coast Titans in 2010. You will go on and captain the squad and play a total of 168 NRL games. You also represented the Indigenous All Stars on 7 occasions. Retired in 2022. A big advocate for the Indigenous communities and working for Beyond the Broncos, delivering programs in schools around South East Queensland. Proud owner of Biscuit Whole Foods and in partnership with the Virgin Australia, using their native ingredients in their products. Wow, that's a good one. Also made the academic NRL squads on numerous occasions because of his dedication to study while being a professional athlete. Ryan James,
what a
welcome
specimen.
to the Easy Project.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, you know what?
What a man.
When I read through that, like I feel like you've had the perfect NRL career on how it's meant to be done. True?
Yes, very true.
Ooh, it's hard. I was playing golf with Chris McQueen the other day. Perfect NRL career. So we figured out I played 168 games, and then we sat there in the cart. So I played for 14 years. I missed 168 games through injury. So
wow.
4 ACLs, shoulders, knees. We know that's
like,
part and parcel.
Yeah, but it is part and parcel. But like you think about like all the injuries you've had, you've utilised that time though. How many degrees 100%. Have you done?
Yeah, so during my, the start, like when we started, you did 20s? No, you didn't.
No,
you went straight into first grade. So when I started, there was 20s. It was literally go to work or go to study. I was like, I am not going and digging holes and then going to first grade training. So it took me 8 years to do my undergrad. And then I think I had a year off. And then Keegan Hipgrave come across to the Titans. And then we both started our masters, which I finished last December. So
that's awesome.
I was lucky enough in that transition period after the NRL. Kind of fell on my feet, got the retirement fund, and then out of the blue, they gave us our COVID payback. So I got literally the perfect scenario for me to go full-time study, which helped me finish that. So, my NRL career, long. Talk about it, I guess. We can talk through different sections where we had good times, where we cried. We can talk about whatever.
Well, full credit to you, man, because that's what we're about. Like, we've got a lot of guys that come in that put in that hard work of studying while they were playing.
Because I remember I was doing it and I didn't realise I was the first Indigenous rugby league player to actively be playing and did a degree. Wow. It's been going since 1908. So I didn't know if that was like a privilege or just like, come on, let's be better as players. We need to make sure we're looking after ourselves because, as we all know, footy only lasts a certain amount of time. We got lucky. We played between us a lot of games. Your average game is, I think it's max 2 seasons. So, any kid out there, we can probably give them any advice that they need. It's just making sure, footy isn't everything.
That's it, man.
There is a lot of time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I say we're the same. We played for like 14 years and, man, I can remember there was heaps of spare time.
We get all the time, bro. Whoever says they don't have time, we've got time.
Yeah, we've got a lot of time. Very much time. Our schedules are given to us, 6 weeks in advance, probably 8 weeks now with the CBA. You can schedule anything. But now with the new CBA, I think it's a day and a half. So, still fortunate enough to be around the rugby league around with the Broncos. They were great. Finished up my career there. Still work with them, the Beyond Broncos, which is good. Just got back from PNG, did a trip out to Cunnamulla, Dalby, Roma, where you see we're helping the Indigenous kids from year 9 to 12 just finish school.
That's so good.
Just help close the gap. There's a bit of an education gap at the moment. So, I guess systematically through time, probably second, maybe third generation educated now. So just literally helping those kids. Nothing to do with footy. Broncos are doing it really well. 54 schools across South East Queensland, North and New South Wales. So
that's so good.
It's a great program. Myself, Scott Prince, Justin Hodges, Darius Boyd, Ali Brigginshaw, Romy, Gale, who else is there? Nathan Peets just signed up.
Oh, did he?
So
Let's go, PT.
So me and Peets are doing our first 3 schools next week down at Kadina, Lismore and Richmond River.
Awesome.
Get him on board. He's one of those guys who's just been like us in that transition period and figuring out how to find his feet. And this job's great for that. Like, still get you involved in rugby league. You're around the boys. You go up there and you see them a couple of times and get you in the community, which is what we're all from, I guess, Indigenous backgrounds. We all just love giving back. That's what we do. That's what we've always done. Man. We've always looked after our families between us all.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
Yeah. Good on you, bro. Well, let's kick off, man.
Let's get into it, man.
Let's get into it, man. We want to know your journey growing up.
Yep.
In Tweed Heads.
Yeah.
Tweed Heads.
And your family as well.
Yeah. So proud BUNDJALUNG man from bilambil. Fortunate enough, I was one of there's 3 of us, and me, myself, Tim, my older brother, who I think is 14 months older, and then Brad, who I think is 9 years older, and mum and dad. So dad worked. He was a form worker builder his whole life, and then he became a plasterer. And mum was a stay-at-home mum who used to take us to all the footy matches, take in everyone, take us all around Australia just to make sure we could pursue our dream. We didn't know we were going to be football players. Me and my brother was actually a better player. Tim was the first junior signed at the Titans, so we actually begged the Titans to take me, and they didn't take me.
Oh wow!
So I originally signed with the Storm. So when that happened, I think I was at Tweed River High. So myself and there's another guy named Chase Blair who played a fair bit of footy.
We know Chase Blair.
We were both at Tweed River, and I ended up going to PBC just to be in that football program. So I did my year 10 down in Tweed River, and then transitioned to PBC, which is easily one of the best, I guess, moves I'd made at a young age to say, well, yeah, I'm kind of serious about footy. Had a coach there named Rod Patterson. I remember watching. So my brother went the year before me, and I watched that side play, and it was like himself, Kane Lawton, Kevy Proctor. So I was just watching all these players run around who went on to play first grade. So I knew that was the level you had to be, train, work, go to school. Like they weren't letting people slack off. They were a school where you had to go. So I wanted to be part of that environment. I ended up going there the next year. We were fortunate enough to win the national championships. We were pretty lucky. We had Cody Walker was our halfback with Jordan Rankin, who played first grade that year.
Crazy.
We were in year 11.
He was the youngest, wasn't he?
He was the youngest at 16. Or I was like third youngest or something. Like, so we were in year 11. We were on the Australian.
2009? No.
No, it was 2009. Yeah, because I debuted in 10.
Yep.
Oh no, it was 2008.
2008. Yeah, it was 2008.
It was 2008 because we graduated in 09. Yeah. And he was just like, he was the king of school. So when you're playing NRL in year 11, goes a fair way. He's still down at Para, I think. He's coaching down there. So he's transitioned into that,
so good.
Which is good. But then, I was lucky enough to, while I was at the PBC, to get a Titans contract then. And back then it was pretty wild. Like you'd be playing 20s. That 20s comp was hectic. Like you'd be going to Sydney during school weeks, and it was good. But you could see where it probably made people think that they were better than they were. So, like, I wished I played a lot of state league before I did, but I was just one of those fortunate ones where Titans were a pretty young club. Yeah, we had an aging team at that stage, so like your Baileys, your LaFranchies.
Yeah, they were pretty old then.
So they did so well. Like that first, I think it was 4 years. They laid the platform, Presto and everyone in Princey and everyone in the community. So then it got left to us to take the reins, I guess. And from 2010 to 2020, I played at the Titans. And then, a lot of different things happened through that time. A lot of changes, a lot of coaches, a lot of admin, a lot of everything. And then, there's plenty to talk about. I don't know what.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like you think about, like, that's the one thing that I'm happy to say it. Like, it is a platform for us to speak, man. But like you think about the Titans at the moment, like it's crazy, man. There's a massive turnover of staff, players. They're coming in and out of the club, man. Do you think they've got it right now?
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're starting to play a bit of decent footy, but I would love to see a Titans Old Boys. The second I retired, I got an email from 2 different clubs saying, welcome to the Old Boys. You're welcome to this many games. It's hard to figure out who's I've only played for 3. I played 2 games for the Bulldogs during COVID. But even with them, like the Bulldogs, they were so grateful. I played 2 games.
Yeah.
Frame jersey, player number, everything. The Raiders were awesome, and the Broncos, so grateful for what they done. So, yeah, like the old boys just create a bit of a community around the club.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where we love getting together, but we just don't get the time. So if we can get someone to schedule a bit of time, I can assume fans would want to see it. Have old boys days at the club. You get to the club. I don't think it takes that much. It just needs someone to be, I guess, allocated to a role to be able to do it because, I mean, without some of those people, we don't become the people we are. Without Preston Campbell, I don't do what I've gone on to do. Yeah, I've got strong Indigenous roots. My mum taught me a lot of things, but Presto took me to my first trip out at, I think we went to like Mornington Island, or we went out to Tingo, actually, where he was from. And I just seen from a young age, like the impact what an 85 kilo fullback had on community. And you're like, well, why can't we all do this?
Yeah.
And we all probably think the same thing when we go back to our own communities. It's just like, well, it was a real eye opener. So a lot of those players in the past who you just run into every now and again and you just love chatting to them and just seeing them. And which the RLPA are doing a great job of late.
100%.
Their last, I don't know if you'd call it 6 or 12 months, since like Keegan and Boothie and everyone have come on board, I've ran into more players in the last 3 months just by going to gym sessions that they set up.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're just talking, you're networking, you're meeting people, you're seeing what they're doing, keeping everyone in check, checking on people. It's like things that you wouldn't have been at top of mind because we all have lives. We got kids, we're taking kids to school. Like, good job, RLPA.
Yeah. Shout out to RLPA.
Sure, shout out. No, that's good, man.
Like yourself, like you're a Titan. Do you know your player number there?
I actually forgot. I actually don't even know none of my playing numbers. So that's my excuse. Like I was, you know what? I agree with you. Like, you know, I did remember getting a message from I think it was Boogs a while back, trying to organise something. But like, hey Boogs, if you're listening, man, start getting that going, man. Like I just feel like there's so many good characters, so many good people within this community that we should all get together once a year. Could be done on the last home game.
I mean, Parkway has a golf course. So.
Well, I know because I always get invited to go back to the Newcastle Old Boys. It's always they always like send it out to you, send an invite. Like we get looked after there. Like you get in the corporate box. You know, it's a full 2-day event. Okay, you go the night before. You know, get on the drink with the boys, share some stories and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like, I'd probably go back to that one too this year as well, just because I haven't been to one yet. And I remember like playing there on numerous occasions. Last home game, it was a massive Old Boys Day. So I feel like they need to start that tradition. That's for sure. Yeah,
and they've got a lot of good people at the club as well. Like if Renee Cohen called any one of us, we'd probably get up and do something for her. Wolfer the same. If he called us, we'd probably just get up and just do it. It's just one of those things where, you know, the club was built on this community. Let's get the community behind it because we got the recipe for a good team. It looks like they're starting to play some decent brand of footy. Like we all watch it. Yeah, it's just one of those things where we really just want them to fire. I'm pretty sure the whole Gold Coast community wants them to fire. It's just getting everything right, and it's the perfect storm. It's just one of those things where everyone has to buy in and get behind it because they're going to add more clubs.
100%.
So then they're fighting for more things and. You know, the difference between playing at the Broncos and the Titans, you know, we used to a lot of Sunday games. Most of my career was Sundays, Mondays. You might get your odd Friday game against the Broncos. And then, you know, I played only 10 games to the Bronx, but I'm pretty sure the majority of those were Friday night games.
Did they used to annoy you? Every Friday, seeing the Broncos, Channel 9.
Yeah.
I go, man, give the game to someone else.
When you go out there, it kind of makes sense when you get 50,000 to a game. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I want to take it back now with your journey. What was the mindset like? Have you always, so when you were playing at PBC, did you know you're like, nah, I'm going to go play in NRL? Or was it just...
They were probably like my first years where, I decided to take it real serious because I tried out for the New South Wales 15s team while I was at Tweed River. So I think it was CHS back then.
Yeah.
And I thought I played Kaka. Like my dad was down there. He didn't really used to take off too much time from work. So he came down and watched us play. I think it was in Newey or somewhere down south. And like, I think I walked off the field crying. I was like, no, I'm not going to make it. This sucks. And my dad just said, "Mate, you played good the whole carnival. You might have had one bad game." I think I dropped 2 balls, and I thought I played shit.
Yeah.
And then because I was playing back row at the time, they named the team. We had a great team, and I was playing 11 and 12. And I think Sam Saville. I think he was 11. I think 12 was Dom Walsh. Remember Dom Walsh? Yeah. So like at that stage, my heart sunk, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks." And then I got named a lock, so I got named at 13. So I guess my whole mindset changed then. And then even more so at the end of that carnival, they named us player of the carnival. So I'd gone out there and just thought, I blew it. But then I think my dad sat down with me after that and he said, "Mate, you've got the opportunity. Let's start looking at it." Because I think I signed with Melbourne. It was Jamie Mathau. Oh, no, it was Peter O'Sullivan. So it was the Roosters or Melbourne. So Peter O'Sullivan.
Big hitters here, man.
Signed us at Melbourne, I think at one of the earlier ones for those trials.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that I wanted to play then. But then when we went on to play, like, that carnival, you're just like, well, you're playing against all the players that went on and played. Yeah. And then, transitioned to PBC. And unfortunately, we had to play Queensland for them. But it's just one of those things, schools are across the border. So, took it real serious when I went to PBC. And we all dreamed of playing footy, but, never know if you're going to make it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, just those 2 school years, we just, everything kind of just fell into place. Like year 11, we won the comp. Great team. We should have won it the next years, but we lost to Kira, who had like your Corey Normans and a lot of great, like Ben Murdoch-Masilla. I think they had like Jordan Carhu and stuff. So
pretty good team.
we lost to them.
That's Geordie's team,
and then they won. So like, it's just one of those things. And then was lucky enough to debut the next year in the NRL.
Yeah.
And I'd never played front row before until my very first game of NRL. So cheers, Cardi, still doing good things. I started with Cardi and finished with Cardi. So I started with Cardi at the Gold Coast and finished with Cardi. I still remember when Cardi came to my house to sign me and my brother. So drove all the way up to Bilambil, sat down with the family, signed us up there, and said goodbye to him on my last one. Unless you want to take me to Hull. I don't know. Coming to retirement,
Is he going to Hull?
Is he going to Hull?
Cardi's the Hull head coach, and I think Jed signed. He signed at one of them. I don't know if he signed under his dad.
Is he already there, Cardi?
No, so I think from what I read, he signed to go there next year.
Oh, right.
He's going to finish here at Bronx. But I think Jed Cartwright's there, effective immediately.
Father and son.
Yeah.
Nice. Take us to your debut, man. I know, like, your mum, that would have been your rock at that time. For the boys and that. For the fam. Yeah, no, debut was great. Like, I was actually supposed to debut up in North Queensland earlier that year. Not fortunately, I actually got injured that game. So I was playing 20s and the NRL side only, I think, used to fly with 19. Yeah. Someone got injured in the warm-up. 2 people got sick, like gastro. And I was supposed to play up at North Queensland earlier that year. Cody Walker put a crossfield kick and I tried to jump under the post to grab it and catch it. And I'd done my PCL as I was trying to do that. So I had 8 weeks. I think it was an 8-week recovery. Yeah. Fortunately enough, it was good that I didn't play up there because my family wasn't there. Although they used to, like, towards it, like, mum and dad would travel everywhere to watch us play. When I was playing at Raiders, they drove to Canberra. Yeah. And then the next week we played North Queensland. They hopped in the car and drove to North Queensland. What? Wow.
Yeah, so they literally hopped in the car and went all the way up. And that's 13 years into my career. So, they'd go everywhere, but they didn't go up there because it was just 20s. And then Cardi and Steve Murphy before that, they said, "Hey, mate, you might actually be playing. So we're going to monitor your game time here in the 20s game." But just unfortunately, I'd done my PCL and 8 weeks out. And then I think I come back and might have played 2 games. I think my last game was actually against South in the 20s, and then probably against Pizzi and stuff and Reno. And made my debut against Manly the next week. But Cardi didn't tell me until the captain's run. So I came in the train and I think might have been, it was definitely midweek. It wasn't the first or second day, like review, come sit with the team. It was around Origin time as well. So I think we had like Bailey and LaFranchi and stuff. And I think even Birdie, we're probably all playing. So we're short. And then, captain's run, he just came in and named the team and I just happened to be on the bench.
So what was the phone call like, calling mum and dad?
Oh, straight away. Like, we all have different emotions. I was crying because it's your dream. everyone's childhood dream who wants to play footy is that. And it was just a great time. I got to play at home against Manly in front of, a home crowd, which was really good back then, in front of the family. So, fortunate enough to go on and play 10 more years with the Titans there, and extremely grateful for everything that they've given us.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
I just want to jump onto that. Like, you talk about, we'll go back to like how your mindset in that as a person. Like, were you talented though? Like, were you always talented, or did you have to work hard to, like, as a young kid?
You have the locks.
Yeah,
I had the
locks. I'm just saying, like, did you?
Probably like to think I was talented, but I was lucky enough. So my whole junior career, instead of just like saying you're the biggest player, you're playing front row. Like, I got to go around. I think I played 5'8" in the under-16s for my local junior team, BUNDJALUNG. Wow. So you get to learn all these different skills and do all these different things, and kind of not stuck in this one role. So, I was always kind of, probably from 15, 16 onwards, I really wanted to do it. But when you get into a system like the NRL, like, I trained at back row, and then Cody's like, "Yeah, you're playing front row." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So.
No, because I remember, like, when I first came to the club, we talk about fit, like, forwards. You were definitely one of the fittest that I've ever come across when it comes to, like, a big man able to do. What was it? What was the test that we were doing back then at the Titans? Like, just 100-meter sprints, like, as many as you can in
10
like
minutes.
10 minutes. Like, you were killing that. Like, you were that fit, and I was going, frick, man, this guy's the man. Like, I just want to know, did you get that from a young age?
It took a while. So, because I used to play 80 minutes in the back row, and then when I transitioned to front row, it was so hard. You go on, and I think for my first 4 years, I was probably averaging 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what year it was. Would have been maybe 13 or 14 or something. I remember just one year in the preseason, my legs just got used to NRL speed.
Yeah.
There's a real big difference between NRL speed and 20s and State Cup. Like,
it's a massive gap.
It's a huge gap, and just one of those things where it just takes your legs, time, and body. And then I think I was fortunate enough the year maybe you came up, and then they actually trained me in the back row that whole preseason. So I think it was going to be me and you. So then I got extra kilometres in the legs, and it came to game one. Game one, I ended up going straight back into the middle. And then I think from that year, I was playing, I think it was 80-minute games, literally in the middle for about 3 years straight. It was easy to find a rest because I'd swap with you or I'd swap with Birdie.
It was crazy, man. You had a mad season that year. I can remember it.
It was good because you could find a rest, and you start to get a bit of footy knowledge then. And that's a thing.
The one game I remember watching you, because I was at South at the time, I remember I was like, "Why's this big guy with long hair?" And you were pumping Sonny Bill Williams in that game, bro. It was like, I remember that game when, like,
Actually,
I remember you guys were chirping at the end of the game.
I think we were chirping mid-game as well.
Did he say so? What did he say?
Okay,
give us a story. Give us
Give us a story,
Give us
mate.
a Sonny
What did he
Bill
say?
story, bro.
Sonny Bill story.
I remember you were stirring him the whole game, and I remember you were pumping him. And
I
was
think
like,
before that game, Birdie was like, just get under his skin. So I was just like running him off the ball and doing whatever, just trying to hit him. But it was just one of those games where, like, Roosters were the creme de la creme back then. I think it was probably 2013, maybe 12. Can't really remember. It's a long time ago now, but I was just like, I had that mindset to go out there and just try and beat him. And I think came to halftime, we were head to head in the shed, like going up the tunnel. And I think Birdie had to come and split it up. And then I was like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, he was going out there to compete. And then, I think after the game, we beat him down there. So, like, very rarely anyone beats the Roosters in your early 2010s. And then we looked up on the screen, and I got player of the match that game. And then I might have just had a smirk or something. And then, we just had words after the game. And then,
bro, I remember it was see you at the car park.
But it was just one of those things. That's just footy, and that just happens.
Well, that's why I want to go back to that mindset of yours. Like, from what I remember back in our 2016 season when we played, man, like, your mindset was crazy. Like, you just goes, like, I'd never seen someone with so much confidence just go out on the field and just know that, like, oh, bro, we like Darks. He's on. His presence was like massive. Like, and like you say it just then, like you just had that mindset that you want to go out there and beat your opposite number. Like, I feel like if you go out on the field with that mindset, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna succeed.
100%. If you just know, I can't even remember who told me. probably was Luke Bailey because, like, I remember watching his work rate, and I don't know if he's watched the early Titans games. Like, he was playing 80 minutes and he was winning kick chases as a front rower.
Yeah.
And you're going, eh? So, like, I was lucky enough to see him put that in action. And then ever since then, like, I was always trying to get down there and kick chases. I'd try and make Ash and Tyrone kick it high, so it'd give us time to get down there and just be there and compete. You obviously can't do that much anymore, but we were creating heaps of ruck in that, like, areas in that area. And it's like they're little effort areas where people that, if you do them, they work, and you just got to do it.
Come to think of it, I remember one time we played against Melbourne down there, and it must have been Ash. Put up a massive bomb and then dark chases and pumps Billy Slater. Yeah.
We did it heaps of times that year. Like, we'd try and do it the GI. Like, we'd just do it to the players where, you know, if we can jump and get a bit of body contact, it's probably going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt me.
Well, Dark done the small things right. You know what I mean? That's probably why he was captain. Because there's 1%ers that people don't see. Like, you would have built that over time.
Yeah,
watching Bales and all that, you know, Minicellos and that doing their work.
Oh, especially Minza.
Like all that craft. You started to build that over time, and then you took that captaincy role. Bro, and I remember because I was partnering with you in the front row as well, and I just felt like your presence when it was there. I was like, nah, we're sweet. Defensively was sweet, you know?
It actually didn't, not that it didn't sit well with me, it's just because I actually do respect the older players. So I remember when Zeb came, I was like, there's no way I'm actually ever going to tell Zeb what to do. Like, we're in this together like we're a team. I always like to lean on the older players because experience speaks louder than words. Like, you know, I think, we probably look back to the army camp where they're like, yep, you're the captain, you need to choose. I was like, I am not doing this on my own. So I just literally picked the 6 oldest. I think it was Zeb, McQueen, Birdie. There was a heap of us. And I was just like, yep, yous are helping me because I am not doing this on my own. We got through it. Cried a couple of times, but we got through it.
No. You think about that squad, man. I feel like it was something special, like building. But that's a problem. That's why I keep looking back at the Titans. Like, we had something special back then. Like, I know that I could physically probably play for another 3-4 years if I wanted to at the Titans, but it just never happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and like we had Luke Douglas there. Like, he was still doing good things. Like, I don't know. We could say a lot of things now, but looking back then, I felt like we had the perfect team to like go one step further the next year.
Yeah,
we made the semis. We made the semis.
Oh yeah, that was I think the first year since 2010.
Yeah.
And we won a roll that year. Everything that we did, like, I remember going. I remember a game in Perth where we beat Rabbitohs over there. Like, that was a perfect storm. Everything that happened that year just happened for us, and it wasn't through lack of, like, that preseason was hard with 40. 40 was good. And he got us working hard, and that's the thing. Like, you know how much it takes to actually get there. It's just making sure everything falls into place, and sometimes it's just not your time.
That's it.
But yeah, like, especially when you're letting players. I remember, I think that year we let go like a couple of thousand, like 1,000 of big games of NRL. And then you reverse that and see what Broncos did with myself, Reno, and Capes up at Bronx. So they had a real young team. And then, like Kev even said, he goes, mate, you might not play all these games, but we just want you to be around them, show them how your work ethic is. It was my last year in the NRL. Capes and Reno obviously still playing. But I think, there was a lot of games between us and just a lot of experience and captaincies and whatever. Just having those older heads around always helps, because they're the people players kind of look to see how they act around people, around their behaviours, and if they're respectful. And I was just fortunate enough I grew up in, your Presto, your Princey, your Bales, who were just great human beings. Like, if you're a good person, it goes a fair way to being a good footy player.
That's what I mean. Like, you just harped on it right there. Like, just your presence and your actions can say a lot within a team environment.
100%.
You don't have to play games. It's like, if a young kid's looking at what you're doing to get yourself prepared for a game, that's a learning experience for them. And I feel like if you've got a team that's got too many young kids in it and probably 1 or 2 experienced dudes, you're going to struggle.
Whereas that year in 2016, we had a real good mix. We had some young fellas coming through. We had a lot of mid-range players, and then we had those older experienced players. That was probably one of the highlights of my career, being part of that squad. We did a lot of good things that year.
Was it tough leaving the Titans? Because you're Titans through and through. You've been through it all, the whole system.
Yeah, it was tough, like knowing that there wasn't something there at the end. Obviously, I had that knee injury. I think I can't remember what year it was. Maybe 2019.
Yeah.
So then put in, I think it was 8.5 months of rehab.
Yeah.
And then, just I was getting ready to play. I think it was the first trial. So we were versing just doing a 13 on 13. I remember Justin Holbrook saying, "Oh, I didn't know if you were right." And then all of a sudden, I just made a break on our 10. Like, never made a break in my whole life.
Yeah.
Ran the whole field, had the opportunity to pass back to AJ on the inside. But then, JC came across and just tackled me, legs tackle. And then it was just like the perfect equation of he's only like 70 kilos. He tackled me, so we went down. And as he landed, he kind of landed on the back of my leg. And I felt my knee pop. And I was like, no. And it just like, I could see the dampen like on the session. And the worst part was because I ran to the sideline. Like I laid there for a bit and got to the sideline. I could still run and stuff. And I was like, oh, no. But then it was Paul at the time, Paul Schofield, who ended up pretty much being one of the reasons I came back and played. Like, he's like, mate, nah, you've done it. Like I didn't need to didn't anyone to tell me, but he told me. And I remember sitting in the car with Boof going to the MRI, just going, nah, bro, I'm just going to retire. This is it. Yeah. And I got over myself pretty quick and was like, nah, should be right. And then, it was a couple months into rehab and the next year where, we went our separate ways. I had signed a 2-year deal at Canberra.
Yeah.
So even that time, like when Stick called and said, mate, we'll take you, like just bawled. I was like, how good's this? Like footy career's back in, good to go. Then, got the family to move down to Canberra. But unfortunately, it was a COVID year, so 6 months happened and we ended up moving literally back to Palmettos. It was hard leaving the Titans. I didn't think I'd be so emotional that the last time I think they played a thing for us, but I think it was like the end, maybe the start of COVID or something where I can't really remember, but I wasn't allowed around the team because it was that bubble thing or there was something around that. And then, so I didn't actually get the real goodbye out of that. No, they did everything they could. Gabby put together this great video and the club put all the messages in. So I would have loved to have seen everyone because I still know a lot of people at the club. They're all great people. A lot of people have been there for a long time, like Shagger and Renee and Nelly and all those people who do such great work.
Jen.
Yeah, Jen. All those, like literally Smitty. Hopefully Smitty's doing well now. And just people you want to say goodbye to. I just never really got the chance. So, would love to just go back and I've been in a couple of times and said hello. Just talked to some of the NRLW team the other day. So that was good. But anything I can do, kind of help footy community. We all would do it.
Yeah,
100%. Your mindset in those because obviously injuries have been a big part of your career.
Yeah.
How was that like mentally?
They were tough. Like so I was on my best contract when I did my knee.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't play. I think I didn't play for like 600 days or something. And I used to think I was fit, but then when I went down to the Raiders, I went down and started training for the 20s, and it was literally there's a guy named Seb Chris who's playing down there at the moment.
Yeah.
We trained that hard with the 20s. We were that fit going into that Raiders season. Like, Stick almost couldn't not choose us because like we were winning everything.
Yeah.
Everything was going our way. Like Seb Chris, his story is amazing. Like he gave up footy.
Yeah.
He was doing the post runs.
Wow.
Like down in Canberra. And then like we kind of got together and said, let's just give it a crack. I said, this might be my last crack.
Yeah.
This could be the start of your career, which it has. Like he's gone on and represented New Zealand.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of great seasons, but I just had to get back for my family. Like, I think it was my first game down there. Dad's not an emotional person, but I remember I scored. It was like the best feeling. I was like, how good's this?
I remember that.
I remember that.
I think Georgie Williams just gave me a drop ball against the Tigers. And I was just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was like, it's good to play footy again.
Yeah, I remember that. Like I remember, when you got back on the field and like, what a coincidence. This guy scores tries all the time.
I know.
He gets a
30 tries or something, 33 tries for a
What
prop.
was it tries?
I don't know.
What was the try count in 2016?
It was heaps. But I know it was 33 tries or something for his whole career, like that 9-year period of playing footy. Like it's...
Yeah. So I just remember like that was probably one of my proudest moments to come back and play that game. And I think Mum and Dad flew down. Oh, they were down there. I think Dad got emotional. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
Who are the one of my good mates, Elliot Whitehead.
He's a good bloke. Yeah.
Call him. We got this thing.
Smell.
We call each other. We call it Smelly. We call each other Eagles, man. He's a legend, man.
Oh, like, between him and Josh Hodson and like Jared Croker down there.
Yeah.
Like he literally rocked up to my house. I think I was there for like I think I might have been there for a day or two. He's like, yep. And raps.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go play golf. I was like, hey, you don't even know who I am yet. But they're like such a good, close-knit crew down there. Like, Smell literally called us, got my number. Hodjo was the same, took me and the missus out. And to it, like, they didn't have to do it. But, again, they're just a great community down there. They love it. And they're actually doing really well this year. Like, you look at their team and a lot of young kids, but...
I know, Smelly's still killing it, scoring tries.
And he is the world's fittest human for someone that's like a pack a day. How are you winning all these fitness drills? Yeah.
Because we played at Catalans together, and man, I just go, man, this guy. But he was good. He just wanted to soak up everything and learn so much. But then, not a big fan of his off-field.
But you look at him, like I remember we went and played golf, and then I forget who it was. I think it was Sia. Sia's like, he's one of our fittest players. I was like, no way. Yeah. There is no way Elliot Whitehead is one of your fittest players. Like his rig isn't great. And then literally, I forget what they call the run down there, but like just blitzed it. Yeah. I'm just going, what do you mean? But it's just one of those things. You just don't judge a book by cover because I think his first game back, he killed it this year.
Yeah.
Because he's older than me, I think. Yeah, he's 33, 34 maybe.
Still young, man. Still young, bro.
And you look at Raps are still killing it.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's good. All right, man. You transition into your business, man.
Yeah.
How was that, bro? How was that phase of transition for you?
It's always tough. Like that, as we all know, that first, I guess, 12 months, maybe 18 months after rugby league, you lose your identity, you lose everything. So I think I said at the start, I was just lucky enough. I had my retirement fund, which I think is getting better for other players now. But when I retired, we all got our COVID payback. So I was fortunate enough that was my biggest contract. I think it was 20% of our contract. Wow. And I got that. So that gave me that, I guess, that leadway into going, okay, I'm going to finish my Masters. So I did that. In the background, we're always working on Biscuit and making sure that was getting up and running. And that's kind of at this stable stage now where we're looking at to grow that even further. So as Seb said at the start, we're on Virgin flights at the moment, but now looking at developing different products for them and different grocers or anything around that we can actually, just build because we're in Burleigh now, so our warehouse is just up there. We work. Sel Birdie is one of the owners, so we have Sprout Organic. I think that's the largest vegan baby formula in the world. Another ex-Titans player who's doing great things. Just lucky to have his knowledge there. And then, myself, Greg and Aaron of the Indigenous Heritage, we just love the part that we do and making sure that we're doing our give back. But that's been a slow grow. Food is hard. But then, that's just one of those things. It's been a good learning curve. It's just one of those things. I jumped into that, I think, why I was at the Raiders. So I started a couple of years, but as we all probably know, we wish we'd done things a little bit earlier. So then it got to that transition stage where we could start doing things straight away. But it was so fortunate that I had that little bit of extra leeway with that COVID payback that no one thought they were going to get back.
Do you reckon it was that time? Did you know you're like, okay, I'm slowing up here?
Yeah.
I'm going to call it quits soon. Yeah. Did you know?
I knew at the Broncos. So me and Tyron Roberts, shout out T-Bone. We used to drive up to the Broncos training every day. Still one of my greatest memories was, we played all of our junior footy together and we played round 1 for the Broncos together up there in both of our last years of first grade. So, cool. But yeah, I just knew when we were driving up there together, we were so positive, and then you just towards like bodies were getting sore, like everything's starting to get sore. It does take a toll on your body. That's just rugby league. That's what we do. But I was just lucky enough. I started doing a little bit of all transition work. Probably 4 years prior to retirement. Wish I started.
That's so good.
A little bit earlier. Like all these kids now have huge social media followings. Don't know how much influence and money they can make outside of footy. It's just one of those things where hindsight's good, but I was fortunate enough. I think I started writing my foundation stuff as well before I moved to Canberra.
Yeah.
And literally, we only got DGR status about 3 months ago. I think we
Crazy.
talked about
so
that.
Good, man.
So now we're in partnership with Birdie's company, Project Net Zero, who's like, I think they defit 30,000 items a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they work with all the big corps. So they work with like JLL, all your big banks. And we're doing a community partnership with them, or we've done one where we can do the part where we give to all First Nations communities, so not just Aboriginal. So through our foundation, we'll be able to, hopefully, I just got back from PNG because we want to take a lot of the furniture over there. So we did a lot of school visits there. I did Fiji and Samoa earlier in the year. You don't realise how much we have in Australia and how much we waste. And, you know, through Birdie and his company, like, we can give so much stuff to those countries.
Yeah.
Like, when you think like a learning environment, I think it was Samoa earlier in the year, and Fiji. It was definitely Fiji, and because we did Fiji, Samoa, but those kids were walking 30 minutes to to get to school.
Crazy, eh?
Same as PNG. We got back from there last week. Kids are doing anything they can do to get an education.
Yeah.
Like our kids have got it pretty good here. Like, and they're going there to sit on the ground.
Yeah, man.
So, if anyone out there wants to pay for some shipping to get it there, we've got a lot of good we can do because we've got it free on this side, free on that side. We're not short of furniture. We're a pretty wasteful nation. I think it's like every 3 years they run out of depreciation, so they hand it over. So we want that to land in the right people's hands, and I think, you know, First Nations to First Nations is always going to be that because we've always been pretty resourceful. Obviously, we want to look after Indigenous Australians, being Indigenous myself, but after going to Pacific and, going to Fiji, going to Samoa, getting back from PNG, I'd love to get it to the Cook Islands, Tonga, everywhere. Like, let's just make every kid's learning environment good. So then, 100%. Like, they're our future.
100%.
We're just nufties at court footies.
Wow, grateful for you guys for doing that, man.
100%.
Really
like, when you think about, like, you know, all the stuff, all the wonderful stuff that you're doing within your community, and I know with your own foundation, and then you're obviously with Beyond the Broncos, and then with the Biscuit, like, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people, you network a lot. Do you feel that helps with your business mindset?
Oh, 100%. And I've got another one, like another company where we work through Indigenous innovations through Bond Uni. So, again, connections that you make through footy, you don't realise how much they actually just transpire into actually doing work. So we're lucky enough that that's like a tech company now. So we're working with heaps of big different corps that want to do good. It's just finding the right people to do good. And that's the thing, like, we've all been around people that just do good. It's just like, just do good. It's not hard to be a good person. Just go out there and just help people. And, I just did, I think, so the Resilience Project just did, I did a thing with the Broncos. So we're starting to do that in the schools. And I think, I forget what it was. It was like, if you make someone happy and smile, it just makes your day so much better. It's like, and it's not hard to make someone smile.
100%.
Yeah, so... I mean, even if you got a tooth like Eddie, like, yes, sweet. Even one at the moment.
It's all fixed up now. It's all fixed up.
But it's just one of those things where, we can look after each other. It's not like we've always been collective. Like, probably same in the islands. Even my family, all my family's out at mine at the moment. So, like, mum and dad are at ours. Which is good. So mum's able to teach my kid a little about their heritage. My brother's behind us. He just bought the back block. So we're going to start building on that pretty soon. And then my other brother works out of the shed. So I'm so grateful every morning I get to
see your family.
Even if you're not talking to him, I get to see. Like, I might see my brother on the phone up there. At least I've seen him. I might see my brother quickly take off to work in the morning. I've still seen him. Seen my nephew, seen my sister-in-laws. Just get to see them. Like, you take for granted how much you love your parents until you go to your mate's funeral and you see them, not to see their parents. So grateful I'm around them every day. Like, just randomly walk by and might see them in the chicken coop and you just see them, which is good. And they would tell you I'm not the biggest talker. Like, at home life, like, I think I got forced into talking by playing footy. Like, you could ask my brothers and my sisters and sister-in-laws and stuff, like, if we're sitting playing cards, like, I'll probably just give them there's not much of a big talker, but happy to talk to spread good word.
100%. And life's too short, bro. Hey, like, you every day like it's your last day.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Now that we've all got kids, like that's all we want to do, make sure our kids have a better life than
100%.
I had a great upbringing. I remembered everything about it, growing up with the family, brothers, cousins. We're always just trying to make sure our kids good. So I'm lucky enough, I pretty much get to drop the kids off every day. I mightn't get to pick them up, but I remember when I retired, I was like, well, we traveled a lot.
Yeah.
I did minimal drop-offs.
Yeah.
So I love doing the drop-off as much as that sounds like it's not that good. Like I just love seeing them, making sure they're being nice to their friends and try to get there most days. But if we're doing different school visits here, there, everywhere, you can't go, you can't get them every day. But one of the hardest things I've actually done is start coaching the Mudgerbur and the Sixers. Jesus
the Redbacks.
The Redbacks.
Wow.
Let's go.
Who knew coaching kids was so hard to keep bloody occupied? I did my
100%.
coaching course last night out at Narang. So, that's another thing where just love giving back to kids. The kids just love it. Hopefully, if Nelly, if you're listening, we're going to try and come to the Titans Warriors game. I want to bring the kids. Hook us up.
That's one thing I loved about you, Dark. Like, I remember having mad chats with you. You always got something going on. Yeah. You always got that business mindset. One of the, just share that knowledge with other people and bring people with you. Like, you're always about giving. I love that.
Oh, like, if we can help people, just help. Like, like I feel as I'm a pretty good, connector. Like, if I can see somewhere where someone can help someone, I'll just do it. Yeah. You're better off doing it right there and then. Like, people will get the randomest calls off me, at random times, going, "Oh, you should do this and talk to this person because I think it's just a good synergy." And I think that's just how everyone should work. Like, just help each other. Don't hold everything to yourself. Like, we're here to make everyone better. Like, let's just make everyone better. Like, that's why I want to do more old boys days because I reckon between everyone that's played there, we could help so many of our ex-players. Like, when you're thinking of everything that's happened at the moment, and Keegan's got the good podcast around mental health, and imagine just seeing the boys 4 times a year. How good's that? Like, you don't get that when you live in your normal day life.
100%. And there's so many guys out there. That's why we started this too. It's like just a platform so people can just speak about it. Because guys are struggling these days.
Oh, 100%.
Like, a lot of the boys are struggling, bro.
Like, I feel like it's good to share your journey and obviously certain what we did was a dream.
Oh,
it was a massive dream, and you never want that dream to end. So if we can educate the young kids that come through and understand, hey man, footy is a dream and it's not going to last forever. Make sure you're thinking about life after it. Yeah, straight away.
Which is I'm always just trying to, even the RLPA. So because Keegan helped me. We started our masters together, but I think he's doing psychology now at Bond. Yeah. But even because my office is there and we sit in, I think it's micro credentials. Yeah. And there's still the ability for them to be able to help players with micro credentials in business or whatever it looks like. It's just making sure we can connect all those dots. Like, you only have to connect them and then put them in the same room. Usually if you chuck the right people in the right room, stuff will get done. Yeah. It's just making sure you get the right people with the right intentions and just making sure you physically make them meet, because all these Zoom meetings and stuff, they go about as far as you can throw a water bottle. So literally chuck them in the same room, get the good people, get the right people, make stuff happen. That's pretty much, I like doing it that way. I'm not the best person with typing things out and putting on a computer. Don't know, I managed to get 2 degrees, but just one of those things, can connect the dots in my head, and when I see it, I just quickly do it, or call one of my people that work with me and say, hey, can you quickly write this down because I'm going to forget this, and it's a good idea.
Well, we're proud of you, man, and we're just so grateful that you get to open up and speak about your career and what you're doing now. But just a key message that you can share with us.
Key message,
bro.
What's your
for everyone?
Key message for everyone, bro. We're big on this.
Oh, geez.
On the spot. Could be anything.
On the spot, could be anything. No, just, be kind. Practice gratitude. Life's short. Be kind to everyone. Yeah. Just do whatever you can do to help anyone else. I was just fortunate enough that I grew up in a loving family, so you don't know what anyone's going through. They could be coming, I learnt this a lot when you go to the schools. You don't know what that person's going through, what that person's going through. They could have the worst home life and you could be the best part of their day. So just making sure you're kind to everyone. We felt it at footy. When a player's down, so you can get those vibes. So I'm fortunate enough now I'm in a position to work with people, kids, businesses, and just if you can be that little bit of bright light in someone's day just by literally holding a door open, saying hi, buy someone a coffee, do something nice. Who cares what it is?
Yeah.
Just do something nice and just be a good person. It's not that hard.
Love it, man.
My man, that's some valuable stuff there,
Some
man.
diamonds
like some diamonds. Like especially like, hey, when we talk about key messages, I think you're the first one that's like gone down that path of practice gratitude and all that, and we love it. Like that's important.
Yeah.
Self development, care is definitely important.
I'd love to see you guys get on there with like Shrams and Keegan. Like, I reckon you guys.
Get 'em on.
I reckon if you guys went on with Keegan's one, it's just like firstly, these are all footy players.
Yeah.
Just get him on here. Like you would have the best chat. It's like all good people in a room. Like you actually, Keegs. Yeah. These boys, you're up next.
He knows, bro. He knows.
Chuck 3 good people in the room, you're going to get good outcomes. So, get him on. Like, he's doing great things in the mental health space. And I'm so glad the RLPA have put him on.
Yeah.
Like, when you think he's such a young kid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's young, man. Yeah. He's young as.
He looks old, but he's young.
Very smart.
But, like, just got a mind of, he's just a good person.
That's it.
It's not hard to be a good person. So, I would love to see you sitting here next, Keegs, because I think you three would have valuable chat that all of Australia, anyone in the world that can just lean on, whatever it is, man. Like, yous have all got great stories, fortunate enough to be part of all of your lives, and just all good humans. So, first and foremost, good people.
Thank you, bro.
Get them all on there. Get them all in the one room. Keegan, I'll be disappointed if you're not on here.
From under the bus.
Oh, man.
Nah, thanks, Doc.
Connecting the dots already.
No, that's all right.
Thanks for everything.
Cheers,
thanks
man.
for
Hey,
sharing,
just want to close us out. Thanks to all our sponsors, SMSF Learning Centre, the Talent Locker, Newbie Blanks. Is anyone else we missed?
No, that's it, I think.
Hey, if you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. If you've got any comments, flick them through. If you've got any questions, flick them through. You know, our Insta and our socials is going off at the moment. Thanks to we've employed someone full time now. Is that right?
we got a couple of employees.
Yeah, got a couple of employees in doing that stuff for us. So it's good.
Man.
It's good.
Peace.
Peace.
Too easy.
Too easy.